Modern Day Odyssey Podcast.
Some ghosts
at the Modern Day Odyssey Podcast, which this is episode number 2, trying to be official on these type of segments that we're trying to produce, as well as our DJ future streamer over here on my right side. I keep telling him the homie got the whole setup for Christmas and everything, DJ setup, and
it's hard to move those speakers that you gave me. It's a 3-piece.
nah, but from your crib. Stream from your crib when we can.
I'm still practicing. Gotta practice getting that little bit of confidence.
Look at you. Go ahead and do your thing, and I'll be your fucking hype man. I'll be out here just fucking hyping everybody and shit while you break it down.
Break it down.
Hell yeah. But yeah, you know, tonight should be interesting. Tonight should be a little bit of fun. We have a paranormal night with ghosts, poltergeists, and some hauntings. Do y'all believe in this shit? Pretty interesting. I mean, I've had some experiences with the paranormal. Not necessarily poltergeist, but I guess you can say maybe ghosts or shadow people. You?
I just want to know, ghosts are ghosts aliens?
There's a lot of I guess, what would you call it?
It's
Theories?
along that phenomena to me.
There's theories that ghosts are just
we are part of.
We are ghosts. So check this out. We are ghosts and living form at the same time, according to this one theory, where because we are at different frequencies and different ranges, we experience different things at the same time. So when we see ghosts, those might be people from a lower or higher dimension, but for some reason during that moment in time that we're able to see them, the intertwines between our reality and theirs is really close, and that's the reason why we can see through the veil and we're able to see them.
So what if it's like a present time thing, just not our time? You know what
Exactly,
I mean? Like,
yeah. And then for us, it can be like that with us, for them. Like they probably
so
see
it's like
us.
some terror.
Yeah, that happens, or some type of mixture
in
where
space.
it just combines a little bit too close,
time.
too much, and it happens.
Our volume is on, right? Just making sure.
Let me double check real quick with this because. Yeah, I can definitely hear it.
What are you doing?
How'd you do that? I didn't touch.
I don't know. I think I just accidentally did that. Well, we got sound. And we should
What is that?
your phone. It's your phone. Turn it off.
Well, it's not gonna make the sound go away. I think it's to. There has to be ways. Oh, look at this mic.
Yeah, that was a nasty frequency. I can hear myself clear though.
Well, yeah, that's us in our headphones, but this is them through what they're listening.
Oh, can you hear yourself talking right now?
Very likely.
because I could hear the frequency though.
Huh?
I could hear the frequency really bad.
The headphones?
Yeah, not right now, but
Let's go ahead and speak.
this is a clear recording of my voice to test the frequency in this room for ghosts. Some sort of EMF, I believe. Is there anybody here with us right now? Are you there? Hello there. Or should I say, hell here?
I'm turning.
I hear no frequencies. It is silence. No vibrations, good nor bad. I can bring the good ones though.
I'm gonna turn the mics off.
Good vibes only.
That.
Good vibration with the combination.
Alright, seems like it's always something new, but we're fixing it on the spot. We're so goddamn newbies. We'll do another sound check once we have the videos playing that we want to go ahead and show you regarding some of these things. I'm not going to show you no ghost videos or poltergeist videos. Well, I am going to show you these type of videos, but they're going to be videos that are also in regarding with hauntings. That way we get the ghost, poltergeist, and hauntings all together. Apparently, there are 3 different types of ghost entities or spirits that are categorized. We have a residual haunting, or also known as echoes, and those are ghosts that appear to be doing some kind of action or something before they died. Like the ghost can appear and put his hands up and then either get shot or get run over by a ghost car, and then you don't see that no more. But it happens either on every, like, let's say every 14th day of the month at a certain time, and it only appears at that time, a set point, and that's what they consider an echo.
Like I don't know why, but like in my mind, I immediately compared it to like a memory.
Yeah, it's like a death memory.
Like a memory of that place.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That just replays.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's crazy.
So there's that type of ghosts, and then there's intelligent type ghosts. That these, you can kind of consider these poltergeists, because they're the ones that kind of interact with you more and kind of make themselves aware and present to you being in the location that they're at. So like when ghost hunters go in places, and they're like, hey, can you set this light off for me, or the REM pod, or whatever it is that they have, and the ghost does it. That's an intelligent entity. And then poltergeist, I don't know what you know about poltergeist, but from what my understanding of poltergeist is that it's not even a ghost. It's a darker form of dark energy, dark entity. Either some kind of malevolent spirit or demon is what they consider them. Because a poltergeist does not haunt locations. A poltergeist haunts people until you're either driven crazy mad or you commit the they kind of drive you to that.
So, okay, so it's like exorcism, or not exorcism. What's the to be enchanted by a demon? What's it called? Possession.
That would be from a demon.
It's not the same as poltergeist.
No. A poltergeist never possesses you. A poltergeist feeds off of the energy and fear that it's causing you.
Oh, okay.
A demon is... Demons supposedly are fallen angels.
Would that be like... I don't know, like in The Conjuring, the lady in the black dress that was always behind like Ed Warren. You know what I'm talking about? She's like at the very end, the last movie. I think it's a nun.
No, that would be demon.
It wasn't the demon though. It was from one of like his very first cases, and it's like followed him since then. It was
Insidious? From
maybe.
Insidious?
I don't know.
Because they used to...
I don't know. I just remember it was something that stuck to him, and it was a lady, like an old lady in a black dress, and she was like kind of hooded sometimes.
That was an evil spirit, an evil entity, and the thing with that was that he was an astral projector, and he would project to limbo, a state of limbo, where ghosts are not in our reality and aren't either in hell or heaven. They're just in between, the in between.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he would go, and the spirits would know that he was there, and they would try to follow him to be able to put their spirit or their ghost into his body, because essentially when you astral project, this your spirit or your consciousness or whatever is leaving, so you're basically just an empty shell. So they were trying to take his body to be able to come back to life.
I understand.
But yeah, that's a whole other thing. God darn it. The Conjuring. The Conjuring is a poltergeist ghost. That witch that she tortured. She started by doing these little bits of because you know how she was targeting the mom. Mm-hmm. She always targeted the mom to kill themselves. So she haunted the mothers until they drove themselves crazy or killed themselves.
Okay, from the first movie.
Yeah. So that's more of a poltergeist ghost. Even though there was more people in the house, it only went after one person. And depending on how people are, it could target different people in different ways, because it is a very intelligent entity form.
And are these videos based on these different types of form, or what is it, hauntings, I guess?
Essentially, yeah. For the videos that we're going to be scoping out, we're going to be scoping out the inspiration hotel to the movie The Shining.
Okay.
Which is called the Stanley Hotel in Colorado.
I have never seen the movie in full.
That is crazy.
I end up falling asleep.
It's
a long movie.
It's a long movie, but it's also very story like it's telling the whole story to it, but there is no actual crazy stuff that's going on like that. You know,
I try to fast forward it every time, but there's
just like nothing you fast forward to, because when you forward to stuff, because it's a storyline,
there's just a lot going on.
Yeah. So we have the Stanley Hotel, which is the inspiration to The Shining. The Stanley Hotel is actually also the hotel where, God damn it, the director for The Shining wrote The Shining itself.
Ooh, very researchful.
Yeah. Aside from that, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at what's the other place? This one is more of a ghost place. It's the Winchester House out here in California.
I have heard
which
of it.
Essentially was built to either please all the ghosts and spirits that were killed by Winchester weapons, or to be used as a giant maze to hide and make sure that those spirits and ghosts never found her, because she was Mary Winchester was paranoid about these spirits and stuff. So I'm not sure if she was either
coming after her.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if she was. Well, nobody's sure if she was trying to please them because they were coming after her. In the movie that they made it seem like that every room that she built it to accommodate the ghosts. And then in other stories is that she was building it to be used as a maze to run from the ghosts, because apparently she never even slept in the same bed.
She always moved around.
Yeah, every night she had a different location to sleep in.
Wow.
And the workers worked day and night. They worked 24/7.
Just building rooms, building extra rooms.
She had that big of a work crew that they were working 24/7, and she did a bunch of seances and a bunch of stuff like that to figure out what it is that the spirits and stuff wanted. She was huge. I don't know if she was paranoid because of all the murders or whatnot that she reflected about regarding all the weapons that her husband made, or if it was like guilt, or what. But that Winchester House has a huge storyline to just ghosts on themselves. And then we have another famous house, which is bestly known as the Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana. It's an actual slave plantation, and it's haunted by the slaves that were killed on the property.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
Yeah, that one's pretty interesting. That one was kind of cool. So we'll be watching a video on that. And then the last video that we're going to watch is a really interesting video because it has to do with the very first penitentiary prison that was constructed in the United States, which is the Eastern State Pennsylvania Penitentiary out in Philly. And it housed the most notorious and craziest criminals of its time. And they basically just tortured all the fucking inmates. It was it was constructed as a solitary confinement. It was the very first time that the solitary confinement method was used, and every person was confined to a small cell by themselves that had a back room, like a little backyard, which was where they would do their exercise on the yard. So they never went out to speak to other people. They never got to interact with anybody. They were completely 24/7 by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it was notorious for making all the inmates go crazy because of just being by themselves for so many years. It was also the place where Al Capone was locked up at.
I have been to one of Al Capone's houses before.
Yeah, that's right. You were telling me about that. Why don't you let everybody know a little bit more with that?
It was just a friend's house, and it was like friend of a friend, but we got invited to go hang out, and turns out the house that they lived at was one of Al Capone's.
It was like a stash house.
Yeah, kind of stash house. It had a whole tunnel underneath to a church. The tunnel was all tiny, but it was there, and it was like a villa style home.
Oh, okay.
Had a little it was all brick and stone, and it was really nice, honestly. But it definitely had just, I don't know, like a vibe. Like they said that there was definitely noises being heard in the house sometimes. But
and what city?
Fontana.
In Fontana.
But I want to see these videos. I want to see these hotels. I want to see that plantation. Have you ever been to a museum
Of
plantation?
a what?
Plantation.
No.
I've been to one, and you definitely
plantation?
feel the vibe. Yeah.
Where at?
Well, I've been to the Dole Plantation.
Huh?
The Dole Plantation.
What is that?
The one in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
It used to be. I think it was. I think they had slaves there also. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But I definitely felt the vibe.
Okay. I'm pretty sure there's dark history out there in Hawaii. Hawaii has all kinds of dark history. That's interesting. That's really cool. Did you go in the tunnel in old Al Capone's?
Yeah, we just went down to the basement and looked at the hole. We didn't go into it.
How far away was the church that it connects to?
It wasn't there anymore. But
No,
it was
what's the distance?
probably a block or so. No, not a block. Less. If they were in a cul-de-sac, it was probably at the end of on the corner.
Oh, okay. So it's a few houses.
A few houses down.
That's crazy. That's pretty dope, though. Yeah, Eastern State Penitentiary was supposed to be just tortured prisoners that their spirits are still there. People that just go crazy, and pretty sure that they killed each other whenever they had a chance. There's a few. There's actually a really famous. I didn't really research into it, but apparently there's a really famous escape. One of the very only escapes from that penitentiary, and the dude was some old school mobster. But and then what was there? I did not, but I want to put it on. There's a video I need to look for real quick. Of it's known as the Enfield Poltergeist, and it's one of I think it's Conjuring 2, where Ed and Lorraine, they go to London, to Europe, out there to help this family with dealing with the poltergeist ghosts.
Great Britain.
And this story made headlines
the
because
pond.
at first they didn't believe the family that they were putting. They thought the family was just making this shit up to collect money, because it was a single mother with 4 kids. So, they thought shit was crazy. For this really quick, and we'll start off we'll use that as the very first video to go off, because that whole shit was interesting. Poltergeists. Let's see. Where's the one that I was looking at? we're gonna watch this one really quick because it actually has the actual fucking children that we're going through as adults. So this is what they were when they were basically helping out with the story of for the movie The Conjuring. They were basically telling them what happened so that it can be put into the movie.
The town of Enfield was North London.
And my mum came into the room and she said, Johnny and Janet, pack it up and sleep. We've got to get up in the morning. And just before near the wall and the door, I'd slid into sort of the doorway.
There was like incidents that happened to me, like the curtain which wrapped itself around me, which was quite life-threatening for me. And it brought it home to me that this could kill you.
Gosh darn it, ads.
Was that actually her?
Yeah, those are the actual children.
Live from New York.
Damn, why is this so loud?
I gotta have more cow.
And we was all in a terrible state, very scared and tired of it. And it got worse as the time went on. We got more exhausted with it.
It's what happens in the supernatural
Not
demonic
spit,
world. In
bump.
order to infiltrate someone's life, they don't just, oh, I now have you possessed. They have to weaken you by creating turmoil, noises in the night, things that go bump. They start to elevate fear and they begin to feed on that fear.
For the family, when weird things started to happen, they actually did the right thing and they called the cops. And that's how the police were involved. They came to the house, they investigated, they checked around, and sure enough, all the weird stuff that the family was saying were happening in the home actually happened to the police officers.
This chair in the corner sort of shot forward about a metre in front of them on its own. And she sort of went like that, the policewoman, and she sort of looked in disbelief and was looking to see something was attached to it and one of us might be playing a joke on her, and maybe that's the sort of look she gave.
When you read their interviews, it's like they could not get out of there fast enough.
My neighbour called the newspaper. We didn't know what else to do, I suppose, like in desperation for some sort of help.
The chap on the news desk, being a bit sceptical, obviously didn't believe her at all.
The newspaper thought my neighbour was drunk. They don't come across this every day, do they?
When she mentioned the police had seen this, they had to believe them then. You wouldn't ignore the fact that if the police had witnessed something, that was good enough for us. I was in my early 20s. I was a photographer on the Daily Mirror, covering anything, everything. News, sport, fashion, you name it, I shot it. Janet was brought in, and as she came into the room, suddenly things just took off. Wherever Janet was, it just seemed to happen. Kids are kids, you know, they'll do funny little things for attention, but not the things that we were seeing, we were witnessing there. They couldn't have done those things. They weren't even in the same room at the time. So, no, I quite believe what I was watching was genuine. You'd have chairs tip up, beds turn over, drawers would fly out in a room there was no one in.
Oh my God. The levitation of those girls. They would levitate.
I remember being pulled from my bed. I felt like a cold hand feeling and pushed up into the air. It was like a force. And I was screaming.
And they'd levitate, crisscross in the air.
The shot of Janet levitating was done with a cable running down to where I was, down in the main sort of living room. She was up in the bedroom. We had a camera set up in the corner, motor driven, with stroboscopic flash. I wasn't in the room at the time. I didn't see this until the following day when we processed films and have a look. So that came as a real surprise to everyone, that we knew that she was falling out of bed. We could hear the bang on the floor. We could hear her scream. We knew what was going on. We only had Janet's word for it. But then the following day we look at the pictures. That would prove it.
It became, over the months, a bit of everyday life, which was quite bad. But before that, I certainly thought that ghosts were ghost stories, and they were all fictitious.
We realised that we had to get other people involved, i.e. the Society for Psychical Research, who look into these things. And that's when people like Maurice Grosse were involved, and they were the, quotes, professionals. As far as Maurice is concerned, I understood that he had a connection with the case. He'd gone along there believing that it was his recently deceased daughter, who was also called Janet, who was trying to contact him from beyond the grave, sort of thing. And I'm sorry, it's all lost on me.
Janet, are you all right?
This voice channeled towards Janet's direction, and we looked at her face, but her mouth wasn't moving.
Ed, no. Hold your leg on me on that. No, give me. No, I don't want her. No. Yeah, I'll do it. Ed, don't hold a lot.
I think people thought at first that I was doing it deliberately, so tests were done.
Mr. Grosse filled her mouth up with water when we all was watching, and the voice was still talking. And Mr. Grosse asked him, "Where are you from?"
I come from the grave.
We are in the actual graveyard where Bill Wilkins is actually buried.
That's a cold line.
Mum, she's watching over us.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
On Mum's face, it's just how she used to look at me.
I've come from the grave. That's cold,
sorry for the kids.
Yeah.
Because everybody.
If I hear
had
that
to
shit,
be
I was
there
like,
to see it from
damn.
Cambridge professors.
I'll be like, that's what's up, bro.
TV. There was even one
Oh,
that
that's on the professionals.
was invited along to the house to see if Janet was making sounds herself, and this sort of stuff.
There were so many witnesses and so many people had seen things.
With the media there, reporters, investigators. There was no privacy anymore. Our lives weren't our own.
My name's Kent Allen. We're with the television news program Wide Angle. I was hoping to have a word with you about the disturbance.
This family became minor celebrities at the time, and this wasn't just a family off by themselves, off in the woods with nobody around. This was a council house in the middle of London. It is the house that you would never think that was haunted, and inside were these people living this nightmare.
There was a buzz that went around that Ed and Lorraine were coming over from the States to witness, what was happening in the house. I remember that everyone thought, wow, this is fantastic. This is really interesting that someone's going to, really bothered to do so much, to come so far.
I've done research all over the world. I never charged for anything I did. What happened wasn't good. I needed to help them.
When Ed and Lorraine come to the house, to me it felt like some sort of comfort had arrived for the first time.
Ed and Lorraine exemplify, especially in the 70s, your neighborhoods. How people weren't so afraid to help each other. You just did it because it was the right thing to do.
It's crazy because how do you feel about Ed and Lorraine? Do you think they're real? They're for reals?
I think they can be.
Just with the simple fact that no other person or people have come forward to be like, now we're going to be doing what Ed and Lorraine used to do because we're able to, because we also have the abilities that they did.
Maybe they don't, though. Maybe nobody else does.
That's the thing. Like, would that make ghosts and stuff like this even more believable, since there's only one couple so far in such long points of history that have ever come forward to try and fight and defend people from the paranormal, you know? Like,
I mean, that we know of, they're very popular, but I don't know, I think there's more people like them out there that just aren't popular like that. You know, it's like to me, it's like a plug, you know. Only if you know they're out there, because you're only gonna find like I don't know, in Mexico, let's say, if you need someone like that, who you're gonna go to, like a witch. You know, you're like, that's what they call them out there. You're gonna go look for like someone that does brujeria, and they're not gonna be popular, but they're gonna be like, you know, people are gonna know about them. Like they.
But the thing is that is known.
But they were providing a service.
Yeah, but no other person is providing that same service. There's you can find witches or different types of witches, either dark witches or white witches, in different parts of the world, in different countries. But people that went out like them to go fight the paranormal, like, no, you know, like, so do you think that would make their story more believable or even less believable, because no other couple can be like,
I mean, they back their sources really well. They have their research to prove it. I mean, that's the only way to back up your evidence. Then they have it. True.
Lorraine has cited this particular case as being one of the most terrifying of her career.
You think a witch is gonna let you record her?
Anything like that one.
If she does,
She said,
I believe
there's
that
some spirit here.
the
And
video
she
will
said, "I
be
feel it's not
distorted or
always good."
corrupted, and it won't.
And she said,
it will
say
not,
it was very
like,
evil, but
be
she said,
seen.
I'm very worried about it.
They don't want
Lorraine
to be
has
seen.
always said to me, she goes, I know that this gig is ordained. You know, it was meant to be, and like it or not, you know, I gird up. And despite the fear and despite the weariness, there was never any doubt for her.
You can see it's the house, there's no doubt about it.
We had Margaret and Janet come back and visit us while we were shooting.
This is my mother's bedroom. She always had a chair in the corner here, but it's very much like her room was. Oh wow! This is a recreation of the room. My sister slept on, but it really brings back memories.
It was the first time they had seen Lorraine, who was on set the same day, in 38 years.
Margaret and Janet.
Oh my God! Oh, my goodness.
Oh, lovely to see you. We've seen you in the films as well. In the other films, I've watched you.
You were kids.
I know. We never forgotten.
Thank you.
It was an extremely emotional reunion for all of them, because they remember Lorraine and Ed so fondly, and how they had truly tried to help the Hodgson family, not just with the supernatural elements, but just help them as a family.
Out of their repertoire of cases that they've investigated of their lifetime, this is one of their most interesting ones. Because of the nature of it, the Hodgson family have their fair shares of fans and skeptics.
Our principal characters here are all children, and children can be very ingenious pranksters.
Nita Gregory, I've always despised her and resented her because she said it was a complete fake.
My girl didn't make this up. What? No. But I've seen things.
She was caught red-handed faking an event. Obviously, this family, if it was a hoax or not, was in great distress, okay? I think that we can agree on. And whatever the reason, like, I can totally respect that and be like, I'm so sorry that for whatever reason you felt this way and this kind of stuff was happening.
No one could fake something like that. They'd have to be a very good 11-year-old actor.
This is my house. No, it's not.
If I ever fucking woke up to you in the middle of the night saying, "This is my house," I'm walking your ass to my parents' room, leaving you in there, coming back to the room, going to sleep. And you're their problem now. You ain't gonna fucking be scaring me like that in the middle of the night. Hell no, let's go this way.
You go back, get your ass back in bed, throw a pillow.
And there is that question of, did something really happen or not? There are a lot of believers that really believe something did happen, and there's some people that feel that the girls were putting something on. But there is enough evidence that's irrefutable that makes us feel like something was really strongly going on there.
Don't you see?
See what? I don't think I'll ever be able to put a closure on it because the memories will always be there. It will never go. It's such a big impact on my childhood.
At the end of the day, it didn't just taper off. It burns itself out. You know, it gets to the point where things weren't happening. So just ended up as a complete mystery as it started.
I'm very grateful for giving us the chance to tell our true story.
Were they filming at the actual site?
Yeah, at the house.
Oh shit, that's wild.
Yeah, that's went back to the actual fucking house. So that was, dude, that's Poltergeists are crazy because there's another movie that was called Poltergeist, very old school from like the 80s. Mm-hmm. I think also, I don't know if it was Lorraine that was shown to be in the movie. She had to fly through this like fucking interdimensional time zone to reach a child that had gotten taken and was in their own dimension or their own reality or whatever.
You got stuck.
Yeah. Well, no.
Or taken.
Yeah.
Taken.
I don't.
Should have called me.
It's the famous. It's the famous scene where the little girl's walking up to the TV with static, and she touches it, and then that's it. She's gone.
I call Liam Neeson.
But yeah, that's some poltergeist, some creepy ass shit. You know, the thing is that you can't. Poltergeist is you're haunted by a poltergeist. It's not like your crib is haunted. So if you leave, like you're just bringing that shit with you. And a lot of the times, the things are when there's hauntings, the location is haunted, the building is haunted. There's an artifact inside the building that is haunted. Like it's haunted because there's a specific thing that the spirit or ghost is attached to or does not want to leave because of personal sentimental reasons.
I don't remember what movie it was. All I remember, it was this family that moved into this new house and was finding like a bunch of crazy shit was happening to them.
And Poltergeist.
Hold on. But they were like looking everywhere like to find why it was happening to them. They were tearing down the house, like looking for, I don't know, some sort of sign. And then one day they go into their like crawl space, I guess, underneath their house, and they find like a witchcraft like piece artifact right underneath like the lady's bed, like under the house, that she was getting like a black spot from, and like crazy shit was happening to her, so she was getting like cursed.
Okay, no, it's not Poltergeist.
And so they take the artifact and they like break it.
That sounds more of a curse from a witch. That sounds like something a witch would do.
But it's like an artifact doing that.
Well, the thing is that they create an artifact or a containment for the spirit to inhabit, and then they take that thing to wherever they want the spirit to torment or torture the people, and they connect the spirit to the person using either hair or a piece of clothes or something that's very sentimental to you, something that you care about the most or a lot, and they use it to connect to you, and so you have to destroy it. But the thing is that when you destroy this, if you don't destroy it the proper way, you're essentially just letting loose this thing without having a home or a place to go back to when it's not going to be haunted or not, you know. So therefore it's on the fucking loose, on its rampage, just fucking shit up. So it can get crazy. But yeah, they're like fucking poltergeists. Alright, now we got the Stanley Hotel.
Run it.
We're gonna go with the Stanley Hotel. I need that up. I'm gonna have to fix the situation.
It's just a little loud in my headphones.
I know, same.
Hi there, welcome to room 217 of the Stanley Hotel. I'm staying here tonight. I'm going to do a paranormal investigation. I'm also going to give you a quick tour of the Stanley first and go over its haunted history. The Stanley Hotel was opened in 1909, built by Freeland Oscar Stanley. Its location at the foot of Colorado's Rocky Mountains was chosen strategically to assist Mr. Stanley with his tuberculosis, with fresh air being the main form of treatment at the time. The Stanley Hotel's bold architecture is striking against its scenic backdrop and has attracted many upper-class vacationers for over 100 years. Today, it is best known for being the inspiration for Stephen King's bestseller horror novel, The Shining, and for being one of the world's most haunted places. There are many ghost stories that exist within the Stanley Hotel. It is home to multiple spirits and is an extremely active site for paranormal activity. Freeland Oscar Stanley and his wife Flora supposedly haunt the hotel they built. Freeland continues to look after the property's operations, being seen all throughout the hotel, and Flora is apparently responsible for unexplainable piano music coming from the music room and concert hall. The concert hall is said to be the most haunted building on the Stanley Hotel property. It is haunted by several spirits, including a former groundsman named Paul, and a homeless woman rumoured to have frozen to death named Lucy. Multiple children's spirits also haunt the premises. The basement of the concert hall contains a haunted mirror with
oh no, but it doesn't look haunted to me.
Many who have taken photographs of their reflections in the mirror have picked up images of spirits standing next to them. The fourth floor of the Stanley Hotel is rumoured to be extremely haunted. The ghosts of children continue to play in this area and can be heard running and giggling down the corridors. Room 401 is supposedly haunted by former landowner Lord Dunraven and features a closet that opens and closes on its own accord.
That's a gangster ass name.
Room
Lord
428
Dunraven
is also a paranormal hotspot, having furniture which moves around by itself and the ghost of a cowboy who watches you sleeping from the foot of the bed. The grand staircase located in the main lobby of the Stanley Hotel is another paranormal hotspot. Multiple people have picked up apparitions of women descending the staircase dressed in old-time clothing in their photographs. The Stanley Hotel is built on top of an underground tunnel system, which former staff members used to navigate the property. It is rumoured that some of these workers continue to haunt this area, with a chef being responsible for smells of phantom home-cooked meals filling the area. A grey ghost cat with glowing green eyes has also been spotted in the tunnel. I attempted to communicate with any spirits who may have remained within the tunnel area via a spirit box session. I did not receive any intelligent responses.
Just some stupid ones.
What?
Not any intelligent ones. Just some dumb ones.
Room 217 is the hotel's most requested and most famous room. It is where famed horror author Stephen King spent a night, which resulted in his inspiration for writing
No, I think
The Shining.
they constructed one that looks
King and
similar
his
to
wife arrived at the Stanley Hotel in
really
1974.
Yeah, no.
They were placed in room 217 and were the only guests to spend the night at the hotel, as it was about to close down for the season. During his stay, King had a nightmare that his young son was strangled to death by a fire hose in the hotel. He woke in fright, got up to have a cigarette, and by the time he had finished, he had the storyline for his novel, The Shining, fleshed out in his head. Room 217 is also haunted by the spirit of Elizabeth Wilson, a former maid at the hotel. In 1911, she entered the room to investigate why the gas lighting had been extinguished, only to trigger an explosion from the candle flame she held. Her body was thrown through the floor of the room to the level below. She survived the explosion with a broken ankle and went on to live a long life. Many believe she has returned to her former workplace in death and may be responsible for the high instances of paranormal activity inside room 217.
No way. Who dies and goes back to work?
I attempted to make contact with Elizabeth or any other
people that used to love
no
actual
way,
work.
Bro.
Well, that's what they say. You know, heaven is a piece of what you create yourself. So you won't have someone else's heaven, because heaven is created from the most happiest moment you had in your life. So this bride probably had the most happiest moment working at this luxury grand hotel. That,
I mean, if she's haunting it, wouldn't have been the worst place?
No, she's having fun.
She's having fun.
She's haunting people. That's her.
What a bitch, bro. That's not cool. Where's the hate?
Nah.
She's just doing it for the love of the game.
She's doing it for the love of the game, man. This is her heaven. This is what she loved to be at. So now she's just like a prankster.
Fucking Elizabeth.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Yeah, but apparently this place had all kinds of deaths, all kinds of mysterious people dying.
Spirits, which may reside within room 217. Hi guys, we are currently sitting in room 217 of the Stanley Hotel, which is said to be one of its most haunted rooms. Gonna try a quick spirit box session and see if we can communicate with anything which may be inside the room. Is there anyone here that would like to talk to us? Did you just try to say something to us?
Said I got work on Monday.
Someone's trying to sell us fake viewers. That's what it is.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. They see that we ain't got no viewers, and like, you guys want to buy some bots? Pump your shit up. Nah, we don't want no bots. We want real individual life force beings watching.
My name is Amy. I would like to know your name. Are you from Colorado?
So no way.
No way.
Norway.
Is this your favorite room in the Stanley Hotel?
From Norway.
The hotel? The hotel? The hotel?
What's your name?
Hey,
this is the Don, bro.
Family. You know he's going back. That's Don Toretto right there.
During the night, I also attempted several EVPs, but didn't pick up anything compelling. Alright guys, I'm going to give another spirit box session a go and see how we go. Is there anybody in this room with me that wants to talk? Elizabeth, why do you hang out in room 217?
She said, bitch, I'm on the clock.
Do you like having guests stay in this room?
Good. No, they leave a mess. Jesus.
My name is Amy. Who am I talking to? Were you hurt in an explosion here? Who am I talking to?
Yeah, she ain't getting nowhere with this ghost. You see? Doing it for the fun of the game. Good old Mary. Was that the ghost's name, Mary? Elizabeth. Who's Mary? That chick, huh? No, Amy. That was her name. That's Amy. I'm hearing shit, dog. Hey, I could have sworn though I said CIA man, not CIA dog.
You said dog.
Nah, my brain can't even comprehend when I said dog. Like I can't. I'm trying to remember it, and
it was the other you. It was
Patricia.
It was Joe. It was Joe.
Joe Mama. This was like such a grand, most luxurious hotel of its time.
Looks decent.
It was created, so the guy built it because he had some kind of disease where the elevation and the cold is like beneficial to him.
Yeah, that's what it said.
So that's like one of the things that made it very popular with the high elite class. Was like, oh, there's beneficial things to being out there at the hotel and this and that. But this is a creepy ass hotel. Like some of the shit. This video didn't really explain too much of the stuff, but it's a creepy colors.
They stayed in the room. I wonder if that's paid more for those kind of like the haunted rooms.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Just people trying to get an experience. You're gonna catch more than a cold.
Dude, definitely. Some of these people temporarily take these spirits or entities with them. Like the spirits just catch a ride with them and like, hey, you know, you're kind of cool and I'm gonna come with you. And they experience crazy shit in their cribs and stuff for a while, and then out of nowhere it just doesn't happen. Alright, this is Myrtles Plantation out in Louisiana. It's supposedly haunted by a lot of its slaves.
Finally!
We're there.
I've been waiting to watch this one. This one interests me.
Welcome to the Myrtles Plantation, one of America's most stunning yet haunted homes. Built in 1796, this historic estate has seen centuries of life, death, and some say restless spirits. Did you know that one of its owners was shot dead on the front porch, only to collapse on the 17th step of the grand staircase? Today, We're stepping inside to explore the plantation's breathtaking interiors and uncover the chilling stories that have turned it into a ghost-hunting legend. This is the grand entrance hall of Myrtles Plantation, where elegance and mystery greet you the moment you step in. The high ceilings and floral wallpaper create an air of refinement, but the centerpiece is undoubtedly the red carpeted staircase.
I hate to be
This very staircase is tied to the tragic death of William Winter, who staggered to his final moments right here on the 17th step after being fatally shot. And then there's the gilded mirror, rumored to trap the spirits of Sarah Woodruff and her children. Guests have reported seeing handprints appear on its surface and disappear moments
I didn't even
later.
click to have the subtitles, that's why I don't know how it
Now,
happened.
let's step into the dining room. A space as elegant as it is eerie.
That's just how the fucking
The long
video
wooden
was.
table surrounded by carved chairs still holds the whispers of countless dinners from the past. Visitors have reported hearing phantom dinner conversations and clinking glasses. Could these be echoes of the past? Or are the guests of Myrtles Plantation never truly alone at the table? The parlor rooms of Myrtles Plantation are the epitome of Victorian luxury. Richly upholstered furniture, ornate marble fireplaces, and delicate angel statues fill the space with grandeur. But what about the ghostly whispers late at night? Guests swear they've seen shadowy figures lounging on the sofas or staring into the mirrors above the fireplaces. Do these rooms host spirits who refuse to leave, or are our minds just playing tricks? Ah, the infamous haunted mirror. With its intricate golden frame and polished surface, it's both a work of art and the subject of countless chilling tales. Legend has it that the spirits of Sarah Woodruff and her children are trapped within its glass, making their presence known through ghostly handprints or fleeting apparitions. Would you dare to take a closer look, knowing that something, or someone, might be looking back? These windows are a masterpiece of design, featuring delicate fleur-de-lis patterns that filter sunlight into stunning golden shapes. But as the sun sets, these same windows take on an unsettling aura. Guests have reported seeing faces peering in from the darkness outside,
No, that's
only
creepy
to
as
realize
fuck.
no one is there. What secrets might these panes of glass hold? Step outside onto the front veranda, where white rocking chairs invite you to relax under the shade of sprawling oak trees. But those who linger too long might catch a glimpse of a ghostly figure pacing the porch or swaying gently in one of these chairs. And just beyond, the brick courtyard offers a tranquil escape. Until twilight, when whispers seem to drift through the hedges. Is it the wind? Or is it the plantation's storied past coming alive? The rear gardens of Myrtles Plantation are both serene and haunting. Manicured pathways wind through vibrant greenery, yet many claim to see shadowy figures wandering here at twilight. At the edge of the property lie the wrought iron gates, weathered by time and wrapped in legend. Some believe the land beneath these gates rests atop a Native American burial ground, adding another layer to the plantation's mysterious energy. From its breathtaking architecture to its spine-tingling stories, Myrtles Plantation is a place like no other. But what do you think? Could these ghostly tales be real, or is it all just folklore? Let us know in the comments below. And for an even deeper dive into its haunted interiors and chilling...
Not necessarily what I was expecting out of the video. You know what, just for you guys, I do not watch these videos before I show you guys so that my fucking, if I'm surprised or scared or whatever, it's genuine fucking reactions. So I don't watch these videos, so I don't really get to choose to see exactly if they're gonna be good or you're not good. But yeah, the crazy plants. I'm pretty sure that a lot of the plantations, if a lot of plantations land, I'm pretty sure that plantation land is haunted because they're just so negative fucking shit happening in those places.
bedtime stories.
We got one other video. This one's a short one, but this is regarding the Eastern State Penitentiary in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. Known as the very first state penitentiary to be built and constructed in the US of A. It had water, power, running sewer system. It was the most high-tech prison of its time.
Prisons are money laundering machines.
They are.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the eerie world of Eastern State Penitentiary. Nestled in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, this historic prison has gained a reputation for being one of the most haunted places in America. Join us as we delve into the chilling tales that have made Eastern State Penitentiary a paranormal hotspot. Built in 1829, Eastern State Penitentiary was the world's first true penitentiary, designed to isolate prisoners from society and offer them a chance at redemption through reflection and solitude. However, its walls witnessed countless tales of despair and suffering, leading to a dark legacy that still haunts this place today.
I think this might be also an inspiration to the movie The Green Mile, because of the way that the prison was laid out. It might be. I'm not too sure.
Within Eastern State Penitentiary lies Cell Block 12, a wing that remains shrouded in mystery. Prisoners and guards alike reported strange occurrences such as inexplicable whispers, shadowy figures, and disembodied footsteps. Many believe that the tormented spirits of inmates continue to linger, trapped within these decaying walls. Countless visitors and paranormal investigators have captured eerie images of ghostly faces peering out from the cells and corridors of Eastern State Penitentiary.
Some AI shit.
Chilling apparitions are a haunting reminder of the suffering endured by those who were imprisoned here. Perhaps the most famous inmate of Eastern State Penitentiary was the notorious gangster Al Capone. Even during his incarceration, whispers of his involvement in the criminal underworld echoed within these walls. Today, visitors claim to feel a chilling presence in Capone's cell, as if the ghost of the infamous mobster still watches over his domain.
Listen, AI make me
One particularly spine-chilling tale revolves around a locksmith who worked at Eastern State Penitentiary during its closure. While repairing the decaying cell doors, he encountered a shadowy figure that seemed to follow him, disappearing whenever he turned around. Some say it was the ghost of an inmate, seeking to keep the locksmith trapped within the prison's haunting embrace.
When inmates went to their little yard, they were wearing these masks so that the other inmates don't know who these inmates are.
Huh.
So they would make them wear these fucking masks.
Interesting.
So
nobody knew who they were.
Yeah.
If you like this type of content, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell.
This is a bot video,
Also,
bro.
leave me a comment of the scariest place you know of. Now back to the video. Eastern State Penitentiary attracts countless brave souls seeking paranormal encounters. Visitors have reported feeling cold spots, hearing unexplained whispers, and even encountering apparitions roaming the empty cell blocks. These spine-tingling experiences have solidified the prison's reputation as a paranormal hotbed. Easton State Penitentiary stands as a chilling testament to the shadows of the past. The tortured souls that once dwelled within its walls continue to leave their spectral imprints on those who dare to enter. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, Eastern State Penitentiary beckons you to unlock the secrets that lie
Spectral
within its haunted
imprint.
corridors.
I believe
Beware,
that's like the
once
same
you
thing
step
as
foot
like
inside,
the memory thing.
there may be no
throughout the
escape from
place.
the chilling embrace of the
Yeah.
dark.
Usually those imprints happen when there's like a lot of violence or a lot of torture involved, that it just gets time stamped
On a location.
The incident, yeah.
Crazy.
So this is paranormal on its own is just so crazy because it's on a really big spectrum from what can be considered not scary to like super scary. And a lot of people live in haunted houses and stuff where shit happens, and they just act like it's everyday type shit. Like I had a friend that lived in a house that was haunted, and they just acted like nothing ever happened. You would hear noises. He had this fucking crawl space in the that had the access location in the closet, and he would say that it would sound like they were lifting it up, moving it to the side, and then like something would like jump down and then would just like walk around the house.
What?
And then go back inside and like cover back up.
Fucking a dwarf?
Yeah. The homie Leo, his crib was haunted too, where he grew up, his family's home.
Just casually.
The thing with at his crib though was crazy was that his mom had her own daycare, so there was kids all the fucking time at his house.
What?
And the kids would tell him or his mom like, hey, these fucking people walking up the stairs, or this person, or this, or you know, like telling, and they were like, no, just your imagination. But they knew like their house was, there's some shit happened.
Wow.
And the kids would see stuff.
I don't think. Yeah. I don't think I've ever been or like stayed in a place I knew was haunted, like overnight.
Yeah, you did all the fucking time. My grandma's old house, and the second floor where we would stay to sleep. And that's why I never liked staying at my grandma's house. That's why I always stayed at Drolofo's house. Because when I was there,
I never knew.
Shit would always
I didn't know. At the time, I didn't know.
If
I would have, I would have been out.
That's why I didn't fucking stay there when we would go. Because I had a fucking heebie-jeebies when we were there. Especially if you're by yourself upstairs.
Yeah, I would be weirded out sleeping. I wouldn't be weirded out sleeping by myself. Or being up there.
Just being up there by
in
yourself.
general.
During the day, too, it was just weird.
Yeah.
We were up there once. You were already knocked out. Everybody was downstairs, still like eating dinner and having a good time, you know? And I was watching TV upstairs. And the light that was on the nightstand, it was a touch light. So you had to touch the base to make it turn off and turn off.
Okay.
And that shit just started turning off and on by itself. And I was like, fuck that shit. So I just left you upstairs and I went downstairs with everybody else, and I didn't go back up till my parents went back up.
Ghost was just trying to say hi.
Well, I left
Somebody
you and the
was
ghost to
trying
be
to say-
chilling together.
Well. Well, I don't think anything happened to me.
Well,
I think I'm okay. From what I remember, I don't think I was ever possessed or touched, so I'm fine.
Even at my tía Susana's house, I
have seen shadows there.
Yeah.
I would hope those are friendly.
It sounded. One time I was with Rodo. We stayed up late. We were watching movies, and it sounded like those little bouncy balls, those weird bouncy balls that they sell at Walmart or Target.
Yeah. For the little coin machines?
Yeah, they just started bouncing. And you know how they had the tile on the ground? It echoed through the fucking house. It was just boom, boom, boom. And we just looked at each other and we're like, well, you go out there. Like, nah, you go out there. Like, fuck that shit.
The room full of dolls?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
But I've experienced different types or different levels of paranormal activity in a lot of places that I've gone.
Something you think that is just attracted to you? Some sort of frequency you carry?
It's hard to say.
You feel a vibe when you walk into a room?
Yeah. Things feel off, or I feel it feels like pressure in the room. Just doesn't feel right. Different feelings in different places. I get the goosebumps and the chills down my spine, like cats do when they see shit or some like that. I feel that first. That's like the very first sense that I feel is that sensation going down the back of my spine, and then after that, I either start to notice little things on the corners of my eyes, like right in my peripherals. Or I can just feel stuff. Like it just feels like there's a person there, or feminine or masculine energy I can kind of sense in a way. It's weird. It's different in different places. Like I don't ever feel the same thing. No. It's not all the time though. And I think one of the things I say though is either you have opened your third eye and you're more aware and you're more conscious of these entities. And also people that have been through a lot of trauma or had a lot of issues growing up as kids where they were not exposed, but where they were just very depressed or low self-esteem, or they just had a lot of turmoil, a lot of energy that they dealt with that attracts these entities, because these entities feed off of just energy. That's just their main consumption is energy. So when kids are troubled because of their homes are bad, or they're growing up in bad neighborhoods, bad environment, they just carry like guilt or shame or anxiety or depression. Like all of that energy is just food for these entities, and that attracts. It's like it attracts them to you. So I don't know if having that for so long, growing up with that, you just kind of like your body accepted it, and now you're more prone and aware to it, or the thing with the third eye, where you have your third eye open, so you have the ability to have these extra senses around.
Sounds like you're very aware of your surroundings.
Oh, I've read a lot of different books regarding stuff like this, because it's very. You can almost study it scientifically, because it goes hand to hand with psychology. Troubled kids are just more prone to doing bad stuff in life, and a lot of the times it can be like an influence of these entities that have started to slowly take hold of you. And you can see the troubled kid be troubled and just start misbehaving, and then from misbehaving to like fighting, and it just gradually grows and grows and grows and grows and grows because it's more energy, more feeding that these things need. And if hauntings, if you look at kids or people that grew up in nice homes, no issues, they have no inner turmoil, no inner problems, no inner issues that they're dealing with, they don't experience the stats between them experiencing paranormal compared to the stats of someone that's growing up in turmoil. It's crazy. There's an actual difference. You can actually see it on paper that there's more paranormal activity going on around troubled people, because it happens to adults too. But the thing is that when you're younger,
it's just there's a lot of negative energy, and I feel like if it's like a poltergeist or anything, it feeds off a negative energy, does it not?
A ghost or spirit will also feed off of that negative energy.
Yeah, and that's like a prime source.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me, where else is it gonna get that?
So it's kind of crazy how you can kind of like scientifically pinpoint paranormal activity in households depending on what the environment is inside the home.
It's like good vibes only.
Good vibes only. All right, well, that will conclude our second episode that has been done this way. It's definitely something new, definitely something that we will work on to improve, because we need more structure and more organization when it comes to these types of videos that are somewhat planned out and somewhat structured to play out a certain type of way. I honestly don't want to start watching videos before I show you guys, because I want my reaction to be as genuine as your guys' is when you guys see this shit, because I don't know how to fake being surprised or fake being confused or fake anything. So my whole reaction has to be fucking genuine. So if some of these videos suck and are not as interesting as expected, just know that I did not watch it beforehand. Probably should not, but they will improve sooner or later. That's it. That's another episode down. Thank you guys for joining, for the ones that did. For the ones that will be watching this after, join the streams, follow, subscribe, put the noties on, that way you're notified, because we do this pretty random. I try to be consistent, maybe every other day, or at least maybe 2 times per week, maybe 3 times per week. But I don't have an actual timeline to when we go on.
You're keeping us strong.
Just trying to go at it, man. Just trying to go at it. But, alright, you guys. Let's take it easy. Have a good one. Catch you soon.
A Modern Day Odyssey podcast.